Here we go, Gru. The final section of the Ocean Monument Dome. It's time to drain it, I think. Wouldn't you agree?
I see glow squid.
Must kill glow squid?
Must kill glow squid.
I thought it was an axolotl down there, but then I was like, but no, it'd be killing the squid, and I realized it was just
It
like
would have been, yeah.
salmon or something.
Yep, there's a bunch of salmon as well. I hear a spider down below us.
Some cave, probably. Thankfully, we got lucky with that, and there aren't very many caves to be had.
Nope, there's not a lot, but there are some.
There's another glow squid in this one.
And when I make the farm, I will go down there and light those up, just for efficiency.
Right.
Because if we're going to be AFK here, it's not going to affect this farm, but I don't want it to affect anybody else's.
Yeah. Okay, so, ooh, it's actually, night is coming. Should I put down a bed so someone can sleep?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and both, like, let whoever wants to reset their spawn and then the other person sleep?
Well, maybe not. We may not need to. I'm going to be in water and usually down a ways, and you're going to be down there on the platform tearing out most of the prismarine except for, like, a little perimeter.
Well, I set my respawn point anyway, just because if something happens, then it's not a long boat back, basically.
Right.
Although each of us does have a spare elytra, that would.
Yeah. I did start a recording for the time-lapse video. Hopefully this time-lapse actually turns out. If it does, should be having one right about now, and if not, well, we'll be back in a minute. Looks pretty nifty. So I got a wild axolotl's head and a salmon head during that.
That's hilarious.
Well, that is one large, very large dome completely drained out. You know, we were thinking of doing smaller domes too, and maybe we still will. But that was a lot of work. If we do smaller ones, they need to be definitely like half the size, you know?
Well, of course, this would be the main one, and we
Mm-hmm.
still got a lot to you know
Yeah.
put up to make this thing complete. But yeah, everything else is gonna be
Like,
smaller.
this one feels like gigantic, right?
I mean, yes, I know in the grand scheme of other things that we've built, this isn't gigantic, but it's gigantic for when you consider the amount of glass and water that was involved.
Right. Well, it's just I'm thinking here, like, if we built the next one, or like, remember how I was wanting kind of 4 on the polar axes of a smaller size?
Mm-hmm.
We could probably make those 4 like a quarter of the size of this one, and they'd still be pretty large domes. And at a quarter, they might even go almost to the water surface. And then those would be the medium-sized ones. We'd have 1 large and like 4 medium, and then branching off of like the mediums and like the pathways to them, the tunnels themselves, could be like a network of small ones, which would be like a quarter of the medium ones, or something like that, where it gets progressively smaller, and the smaller they are, the more common they are.
Right, and see the thing is, if we do one, how wide was this again? From point to point, it was what, 100?
Like 100 and something. I like 107, 106. I don't know. Well, it was odds. I just realized though a moment ago. I was like, oh, my hitboxes are still on. That's how I find the sponges, and it was really annoying. Sometimes the sponges, when you're, well, I mean, I think it happens with any block, but when you break it, it doesn't actually visually fall to the ground. It's there, but you can't actually see it. Is that a ghost block right there? Hello? I didn't remember seeing that right there. Like, I just tore these down. Well, hopefully the time-lapse turned out. At least this time it said it saved the file, so I guess there's some hope.
Yeah, but see, what I was going to say is, if we make each cardinal direction dome 1/4 of the width, for instance,
yeah,
it's incremental in how less volume water we have to take out.
Right.
So it's not just 1/4 less, it's even less than that, just because of the way that volume works.
Well, and we won't need nearly as much sand or time spent like placing walls, draining the sections, and then like tearing down the walls. That's gonna be so much faster. I'm gonna go dry these, and then we should head over to the base and work on our next project, which may include another time lapse potentially. So before the episode started, we did a lot of trading. How many days do you think we spent in game? Like, how many in-game days do you think we spent trading with the villagers, with the shepherds?
I mean, I would say at least a dozen or so.
Really? It felt like way longer than that. Weeks and weeks and we were trying to get enough wool, basically. Wool and wool variants. So carpets, beds, and banners. And we were able to do that for basically all of the colors. So we did 4 colored tents already. And I was like, well, I can't pick which ones, and maybe we won't get to doing all of them, because there's like 16 colors. I don't even know if... Do we have enough plots? Like, how many plots do we have set down right now? Maybe we should count those. Maybe...
I mean, when you're talking about plots, for instance, like right now, we probably have enough room for another 3 or 4 around the pond area here. And if we move back a little ways, another maybe 3 or 4.
We did want to move the cows and stuff, so that's part of the problem. So let's see. Right now, though, plotted out, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and then we've got the 4 already. So we only need 6 more plots. We could flatten off the top of this hill a little bit.
Yeah, we could put them up there, put a little pathway going up.
Yeah, and that way you'd have some height elevation as well, so you have some tents, like, on a little flat area above the other tents, you know?
And the thing is, if you go down, like if you were to flatten it out at this level right here, you already have a pond here.
And
you
no,
just
no, no, no,
take
no,
that
no, no, no.
out
Look,
and just use
we
this one
keep
over
this.
here.
No, no, no. Look, we keep this and we make it a little more, ovular or circular. And if you just break like 2 blocks, we could have a natural waterfall carving
Yep.
down through here.
Mm-hmm.
Would we want to make it go all the way to the ocean? Because right below your feet is approximately where storage is. Remember how we were potentially going to do that path down to the geode and the spider farm? Maybe we're going to have some water, like custom made aquifers, like what they're planning for
Right.
118.
Yeah.
We could just have it open up and drain into that. Alternatively, if you remember, I was going to have so where we're going to put the shepherds and fishermen and
There's
people
the
like that.
foxes.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, but I'll take your word for it. But you remember over here where the beacon is, right below that is the big lake that we're doing underground. We could, well, there's that, and then over here, remember where we're going to put the cartographers and librarians? We could, do that idea I had been mulling about where we put like a crack in the floor. Kind of like the crack in the Betweenlands from Septec and other games like that, or other mod packs like that. And then we could potentially divert the waterfall, like the little stream over there.
Over that way to the crack. Yeah, we could do that too.
Especially this one here. Like this one could flow into it right here, and that one could flow in from over there. Whatever. But I do think we would need to do a fair bit of flattening of this section. That'll be a lot of terraforming.
Well, yeah.
But you like grindy work, don't you?
I do. I do like that sort of thing.
Let's go and take on our potential second, assuming this program still works with me, our second time lapse, because we need to do some diggy down here. We have prepared a whole bunch of resources to build with, but the room's just not big enough in here. We need to peel this place back up quite a bit. Part of the issue is we're going to break through the wall right here if we go much further, but we're just going to have to do it. I'll poke hole into the villagers. Okay, I think we've got plenty of space before we run into villagers. I still have... Oh, hello. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, sir. I am... pardon me.
So... You violate his personal space.
No, not really. Just a little bit. So I found pretty much the furthest back section I think we want to go. And I've marked it with, like, 3 torches. So, about this far back from the lake, all the way around, and then pretty much as high as you can reach. So let's go! adding a few pickles really helps light up the water down here. I should have done this sooner.
Oh, yeah, it really does.
That'll probably be all we'll even need, to be honest.
Yeah, and then we can do some decorative with coral fans, grass, and whatnot.
I figure we'll be able to put some lighting maybe up in the sandy areas that will be sufficient to light up the shallower water.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that would be pretty good. And the fish can roam around.
Yeah. So after we finished digging out everything and tearing down the scaffolding, we went ahead and set up new scaffolding, but at a much lower level. And I actually noticed, first of all, we've got these. I'm just going to grab them. But I noticed there was a hole on the other side over here. So I'm just going to come over here and whoop.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Almost fall into it, but we'll fill it.
Yep.
This is actually the next day, though, because we did so much recording. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be too much. I mean, how much more can we do and fit in the episode? So I went and rendered the time lapses with the replay mod, and then edited them, and then edited the footage that we had recorded thus far. We're up to like 25 minutes already. So unfortunately, we can't do anything else in this episode, or we'll just be way too long. So in the next episode, we'll probably work either here or over with the camp, adding new tents with the colors that we gathered, or some combination thereof, and then just see how things keep progressing. But I think we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode, as Drew has way too much fun flying around the cavern. Oh, that was painful. I heard that.
Headshot.
Well, I told you last time, you gotta watch out for this. I don't know if running into a stalactite. Maybe if you're falling on it, but I don't know if you can actually take damage against the ones above you. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, like, just running into a block, like, I think that's probably the only damage, just like any other block.
Yeah.
Not like it
Oh,
would
that was
give you, like,
interesting.
special. Oops. I keep not being able to make that corner over there.
No, it looks like the damage is taken when you fall, but not when you hit it. Science. Impromptu science. In any case, as you have way too much fun, should we go ahead and wrap up this episode?
I would say so, yes.
And keep working on all the things in the next episode. Also, now that we've finished draining, of course, the ocean monument, we can start working on plans there as well. We've got so many things to work on. 118 is just around the corner, it feels. They just started the real snapshots as opposed to the experimental ones. So maybe in a couple months that'll be dropping. But I definitely want to finish our projects here before we go too wild with 118. We'll probably go out and explore and see if we can't find the future location of our next base, but I do want to finish these bases before we get to spread out.
Yeah, I would definitely say so, and at least we'll be able to get some of the new stuff from the 118 chunks to bring back here to spruce this up before we move out.
Yes. So hopefully that'll all work out. And maybe we'll be able to get in some more live streams. I've had a hard time getting in live streams recently, but we'll see what we can do. So, ready to call the episode?
I'd say so.
Indubitably?
Indubitably.
I thought so.